I run Advanced Dungeons & Dragons 2nd Edition. I do my own content. It always feels fresh, new. It doesn't feel like an old game from the 1980s and 90s. It feels brand new. The action is never repetitive. There's enough of it in the way I run it and the way I do it that it feels unique, open, and fun all the time. So I don't have repetitive gameplay where new things aren't tried or things don't happen or the uniqueness of how people play the game doesn't affect things. It does. All these elements I bring into the way I run the game and allow the game to go and flow. Allows things to just feel right for whatever the content is. And note, it's really the content that is going to take any repetitive feel away from anything. It's going to feel fresh and brand new. And I focus on that. I do not do content that would be more suitable for somebody from the 1980s. And I don't run modules repeatedly. Now, why do I mention that? You know, when you're getting tabletop role-playing game advice, you do have to be careful. I give it. I'll tell you this. Look, everything I tell you is from personal experience and a lot of it. And I never tell you anything I'm guessing or my opinion. I tell you what I know for sure from first-hand experience. So when you take my advice to the table, if I tell you it works, it will work. And I'm doing that because that is to build up my reputation with you, to gain your trust, just like a DM would look to gain their trust from their players. I want you hands down to be able to take any piece of advice that I offer, take it to your table, and I promise it will either improve what you're doing or it will fix what you're doing. But there are people out there that will give you bad advice. You know, their opinions rather than really having enough experience to say, I know that firsthand. Like it happened once? Yeah, well, how many other times did it happen? Oh, but I'm only talking about the one time. See, you formed your entire opinion off of one small event. See, do you know what's behind the opinion? And some people put their own limitations into their advice. There's people out there that will say, when you run 2nd edition, it's going to be repetitive, the same thing over and over again. You know, if you've been doing it for 20 years, you're doing the same thing. Yet that is their limitation. That is not really the game, because a good game master can make it feel fresh 30, 40 years later, and so on. Could do it 100 years later. But that's the difference between that person and the person telling you that you can't do that. Well, you can. What they're really admitting to you is their own limitation. So I would say don't ignore tabletop role-playing game advice videos, and here's why. I've had well over 100 people come to me over my 10 plus years on here doing this and told me, hey, you saved me. Like I was going to walk away, or my group was going to walk away, or somebody I knew was going to walk away. I showed them your videos, or I watched your videos, and it turned them back around and kept them in the hobby. I've had hundreds more simply thank me for just helping them with that content. So I know the content is real, and it really is meant to help you. That's why I don't want you to ignorantly and naively turn it away. Even if you're an experienced person or new, the advice videos are food for thought to help you think. I mean, they'll be good for anyone in the hobby who wants to check them out. They're all good techniques. Maybe even something you've done, but maybe I know a way to explain it better than you have, and you could start using that explanation when you go forward telling people the same thing that you've been trying to tell them for 10 years. Look, sometimes people, you can learn things. Don't be so stuck up to think you can't learn something no matter how long you've been in the hobby. So don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, but do filter and be careful and check the people out there that are giving advice. Where is it coming from? How confident are you in what they're saying? And be careful when you take anybody's advice back to the table, and that includes mine or anyone's. Right? Be cautious, pay attention, see if you notice something before you even hit the table if there's something wrong. But if you're in a spot or you just want to be, you need help thinking about these things, or maybe something is not working, or maybe you're getting ready to walk away. If you're in any of these situations, please jump on my tabletop role-playing game advice video playlist. You can find it down below, and go check out that stuff. I swear I put some good stuff in there that can inspire you to come back, get rid of a game master block or that burnout feeling. I can get rid of it, get your spark back up to want to do this all over again for the next whatever amount of decades you're going to be in the hobby. Anyway, for now, take care.